The author and behavior change expert, Nir Eyal, has a quote that says, "Time management is pain management." Man, do I love that. Because when we do not manage our time, and I would even push that a little further and say when we don't manage our energy, because I think that's what I'm so much more passionate about these days, talking about is energy management, not time management. When you don't manage your energy, when you run your life from the energy that you wish you had versus the energy you actually have, we create a lot of pain, right? We create a lot of unnecessary suffering because we get burnout. And when we get burnout, what do? We buffer. We reach for a lot of things that ultimately cost us our health and happiness. And that can be really difficult to circle back from, right? To recover from. Welcome to your daily hit of grace and grit, your quick dose of inspiration to kickstart your day. I'm Courtney Townley, and here is today's hit. There's a reality at midlife that many of us traveling through that season have more responsibility than we've ever had. I talk about that a lot on this show, with less energy than we used to. And if we are not truthful with ourselves about that resource changing, that we have less energy than we had, say, 5 or 10 years ago, we will continue to try to live our life like we did 5 or 10 years ago and ultimately end up in a faceplant. And that doesn't benefit anybody. We get reactive to the people around us, and we end up feeling resentful and unfulfilled and perpetually behind, and even more tired. So poor energy management, like what does that actually look like? Well, it can look like a lot of things. It can look like overbooking your schedule. So you're scheduling so much in your day that no human could possibly ever get all of that done. So you're always feeling like a failure. You're always feeling behind. You're always tired. Or I think it can look like the other extreme. You never have any plan for your energy in terms of how you're going to spend it. And so life just utilizes it. Life just sucks it up. Because if you don't direct your energy, life will happily direct it for you, right? It'll convince you that everything's important. Everything needs your attention. Everyone needs your energy. Everyone deserves your energy. And if you live like that, you will only end up in one place, which is in burnout and exhaustion, misalignment. I see a lot of women say yes to commitments, right, that drain them because they haven't gotten clear on maybe the energy they want to dedicate to certain things, how much energy they actually have. They spend hours on tasks they've not put a boundary around. I see this a lot where, you know, a woman will say to me, "Oh, I say, what did you do this weekend?" "Well, I cleaned my house." And I'll say, "I cleaned it all weekend?" "Yeah, I cleaned it all weekend." "Why? Like, did you really have to spend all weekend cleaning your house?" And they'll say, "Well, I just, once I got started, I just never stopped." And this is so true of work projects, of helping people, of all kinds of things. We don't put any kind of parameter around the amount of time we're willing to spend on the thing. And so we spend ridiculous amounts of time on it. And it's not stuff that we really love and that brings us alive. And that can be a huge problem, right? We leak a lot of energy that way. So energy is finite. That's really the message I want you to hear, right? Time is also finite. We can't make more time. We get more time tomorrow, but we can't make more time today. energy, though. Energy we can cultivate, energy we can generate. We can protect it. We can produce it. We can make decisions about where it goes and what drains it and what replenishes it. And I really do think that this requires putting forethought into how you live your days before your day puts its agenda onto you. It requires knowing what your highest value activities are and protecting the energy required for them. So your energy goes there first. It requires being honest about what's draining you, exhausting you, and either eliminating it, delegating it, or at least getting very intentional about when you engage with it. And it requires recognizing that rest is definitely not a reward that you earn at the end of a productive day. Rest is an input. It is part of the energy management equation. It's part of the energy generation equation. Without it, you're really going to struggle to generate the energy that you need to show up for the things that you want to show up for. So this doesn't have to be complicated, right? It's really asking yourself some pretty simple questions. Things like, what's one thing that if I did it tomorrow would make the day feel worthwhile? Like I would really feel like I lived my day. When is my energy the highest? Like, know yourself that way. When is your energy the highest? And are you protecting that window for the work that matters most to you? What is one commitment or task I can eliminate, delegate, or put a time boundary around so it doesn't swallow more than it deserves? Simple questions, asked consistently, can do more for your sense of fulfillment and aliveness than any time management system that I've ever seen. So I would maybe stop managing your time and really start managing your energy. Your energy is the most valuable resource you have, and you really should start spending it like it matters. If you want to go deeper into this kind of intentional living work, I would love for you to get a free chapter of my book, The Consistency Code. You can head on over to graceandgrit.com/free chapter. It's a great place to start if you're curious about what this kind of self-leadership actually looks like in practice. And the book is packed full of tools and practical tips for you to start applying to your life right away. I hope you'll check it out. If this stirred something inside of you, imagine what a whole book of clarity and courage could ignite. The Consistency Code, a midlife woman's guide to deep health and happiness, goes even deeper into the mindset and practices that create real, meaningful change at midlife. Grab your copy today over at theconsistencycode.com and keep the momentum alive.